Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley, and you know me, guys. You know the show. We like to cover all sorts that's going on in Shropshire. We were at Kids Fest not long ago. We've been covering the Rock and Horse Media stuff. They're based in Shrewsbury. We do all sorts in Telford, and today we're here to talk about Ludlow Fringe Festival. And joining us, we've got Anita Bigsby and Jess Laurie. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
So how are you guys? You good? Anita was supposed to do this last week, but you had an accident, right?
Oh, I did. I dislocated my shoulder, but it's much better. Thank you.
Oh, bless you. I've been hobbling around as well. I don't think I've mentioned this on the show yet, but no, I went over on my ankle. There's this really nice woodland bit outside the Seven Hospice cafe. There's like a Gruffalo walk, and I showed my 7-year-old how easy it was to do the balancing beam. Don't worry, it's easy. You just jump off like this, and as I jumped off, my toe hit the floor, and I carried on round, and I heard a snap. It was terrible. So if I'm cancelling events and cancelling things where there's lots of walking, that's why. It's a huge ordeal. So how long has the Ludlow Fringe been going for then, Anita?
Well, this is our 10th festival this year. Yeah. So we officially became an independent festival in 2013, but that makes this our 10th festival. But we did start the Fringe as part of the old Ludlow Festival the year before. So yes, we've gone from strength to strength. Once the old festival folded, sadly, we just carried on, and we've just built it back up to become the massive event that it is now. It's a 3-week festival with around about 100 events going to be going on.
Wow.
And, between the 18th of June to the 10th of July this year. So yeah, it's just become big and exciting and crazy.
What's it like taking original idea and then that's kind of dying, and then you have to pump new life into it? What was that like? What was it like to resurrect this thing and to try and make it as big as it is today?
Well, I think it was good. I think it was a good thing to do because Ludlow Festival, absolutely wonderful festival. It's been running for 57 years. Yeah. It had become a little bit, it was, Shakespeare in the Castle, classical events in the church, history lectures, and maybe some, some writers and artists coming to do talks and things and workshops. I think it had actually started to not appeal to the broader, the broader audience that's here in Ludlow and that like to go to festivals. So that's when I was asked to put on a few events that was 2012 or 2011. I was asked, and then I for the last festival in 2012. They said, "Oh, can you put on 10 events or something, maybe?" And I thought like an art trail, a bit of comedy, but we had a poetry trail, and also we had some more street theatre and that. I didn't put on 10; I put on 40.
So that's pure ambition. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone, when Ludlow Festival folded, they all looked at me and they said, "Oh, actually, we want what you just did." So it was more out of an obligation as something that I'd started, that I just thought, well, yeah, actually, this is, we've got a beautiful town, we've got a beautiful environment, we've got wonderful venues here. And I just thought, I looked at other festivals that I go to. When I go to Edinburgh, I'll go to Hay and, other towns, cities that have Brighton, and, that embrace their community and really, really want to involve everybody. And I thought there's no reason why we shouldn't be doing that here in Ludlow. So that's where we've gone to, really, and this year we've got now a specific community and education coordinator and we're aiming to involve absolutely everybody in the festival this year. So that's how it happened, really.
How do you do that, though? How do you include everybody with everything? Because it's sometimes like when it comes to creating an idea like this, it's like we're gonna have something for everybody, but like, how do you do that?
Well, this year we're going to launch with the carnival, so we're bringing back Ludlow Carnival, and that, as far as I'm concerned, is sort of the ultimate community arts event, because there is a role for everyone, and everybody, even if they're not involved, can come and watch. So to think we're going to have the streets lined with people and shopkeepers and friends and family of, you know, watching their kids involved in the parade, and everyone who wants to come and make something as well. And we're going to finish with a big celebration in the square where everything kicks off. So that's one way of getting everybody out on the streets.
That's lovely, especially after, you know, sort of the last couple of years we haven't been able to do that kind of thing. It's a celebration of community and people around you. That's really nice. We'll have to bring some cameras, and I'd love to get some pictures and some videos of the carnival. That'd be really, really good. It's nice that you guys with this, you know, your version of this festival, you kind of had to adapt. Because not everybody, like you said, you saw that this thing was kind of getting a bit stale, and you kind of like, we need to inject some new life into it and adapt and find some new ideas. And what did you have to do to sort of make sure you were on the right path of making sure you got the right content for your festival?
Well, one of the biggest things to start with was to make sure there were lots of free events, lots of to include our local artists, our performers, our theatre groups, everyone that was already there that needed promoting, you know. So it's very much about promoting, supporting our local creative talent, and giving them an opportunity to showcase what they do. And we also, again, our businesses, making sure that our local businesses could be seen by more people when they come to the town. So by putting on an art trail, which was in different shop windows or cafes or in doorways, or, you know, just places, so that it's free events, but it gets people walking around, it gets them moving around, and it creates that opportunities for people to sell work, to show work, to find bigger, broader audiences. Also, when we had ticketed events, we made sure that that the ticket price was capped. So whereas like the old festival, maybe I don't know how much things were, say, you know, 20, 25, 30 pound, whatever, to go to see Shakespeare or something in the church. Our cap at that time, I think the first year, was £12.
Very fair, very fair.
Then obviously as things have changed, they've had to go up a bit, but this year there won't be anything more than, I think, 15 and 18. It'll be our highest this year. Obviously our venues are charging more, so, you know, we do have to sort of put the prices up a bit, but it's still the cap. To see, you know, Alistair McGowan will be £18 or £15 if you are, you know, on any benefits or you know, a
student or
students,
older person.
So
it's very fair. I mean, you guys have got you can't, when it comes to making events like this, there's a lot of sacrifices made, you know, and there's lots of money involved and stuff. You know, we've been working with festivals around Shropshire for you know, coming up to 4 years now, and like what I see is what you've just explained. It's a showcase of what the town has to offer, and then when people collaborate, these things, they create magic, a great atmosphere where everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. There's nobody dragging their feet like, oh, food's too expensive, or I can't go and see that, and I can't believe how much they're charging for me to put this. People are enjoying each other's company, and when you collaborate, it creates a nice warm feeling. So well done for.
I think that's what Anita has worked on for all these years, is getting everyone to be doing this together. It's not about our festival, this is us doing this. It's about, hey, look, come on, join in. What do you want to bring? Bring it. We'll find somewhere for you. You know, get involved. Let's do it together. Yeah, that's definitely the ethos.
I mean, our registration is open, and also, I mean, now because we work with the World Fringe Network, we work alongside people like Edinburgh, Brighton, Camden, Buxton, Greater Manchester in this country to create opportunities for people to work towards going to Edinburgh. So touring theatre, we bring in a lot of national and international touring theatre, and obviously not so much international at the moment because of the world situation with pandemic and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, then that's a great opportunity for people for here. It also raises the bar, you know. So yes, we have our own theatre groups, we have our own musicians, we have our own comedians who live locally, visual artists, poets. But when you're also bringing in this other talent as well. It raises the bar. It gives a greater opportunity to see, to view, to to be influenced by, and to experience things that are happening. Very important things that are happening. Important theatre that's happening, and heading to Edinburgh, which is obviously, across the world, that is where everybody wants to take their show.
That is the Fringe, isn't it? That is that's the one everyone talks about.
It's quite a sort of quiet little rural backwater. Some of the cutting edge stuff that comes that kids here would probably never ever get to see. If it wasn't brought to them.
And I was on a show with a friend of mine, Jim Salverson, and we were talking about hyper localization when it comes to podcasting, radio, and audio in general. And he was talking about, he's going, excuse my accent, but he was like, oh yeah, Al, when I think about like local podcasts, I think about the bake sale and stuff. And I'm thinking, and I was like, yeah, there is a little bit of that, but what you do is you take a town like Ludlow, like Shrewsbury, like Telford, like Oswald, and you like an iPad, you zoom in. And you zoom in a little bit more, and you zoom in a little bit more. Now, what you do when you create something like this is you give people an opportunity to network and show them what they're worth, and then eventually that will lead on to something else. That will lead on to something else. So yeah, it might start with a bake sale, but it could start off with an independent business that will grow on to do something special, And that's why I love events like this, because they're very, very important for that. Alistair McGowan, you were mentioning. How did he get involved with this?
Alistair is our patron.
Yes.
Yes, he's actually quite local to Ludlow now.
Wow.
And we asked him last year if he'd be a patron, and he was very keen to be, and that's lovely. And he's a very supportive patron as well, which is lovely. So he's launching the festival this year on the 18th of June at St Lawrence's Church. And last year he closed the festival on the last day at St Lawrence's Church. Hopefully we'll be able to have a bigger audience this year with less masks, which was it was an audience full of masks, which was quite difficult to I found, because I introduced him, and I've never stood in front of so many people with masks on. You can't read their faces.
There's no body language.
Very hard for me, for a comedian to tell what your audience are doing.
So obviously you have Alistair McGowan, but do you have a lot of new up and coming talents as well coming through that you're excited about? Yeah,
we've got lots this year. We've got some old favourites, people that have come to us in the past, like the Daniel Martinez flamenco, which is just an absolutely delightful experience. And people in Ludlow have absolutely adopted him, and he's adopted them as well, because he really loves coming here to perform. And it's probably one of the best Spanish flamenco performances, with Gabriela Puso dancing. And she's also going to be doing workshops this year. It's just delightful. Absolutely, I've never heard an audience or seen an audience in Ludlow just respond so amazingly. At the end of it, everybody on their feet and everybody cheering, and it's beautiful. So other than that, we've also got lots of theatre coming. Touring theatre. We've got a lot of young comedians. We've got new comedic talent, people coming through. We've got people like Rob Newman. Do you remember Rob Newman when he used to be with David Baddiel? So Rob's coming here on the 25th of June. He's going to be at the Assembly Rooms. And Ivo Graham. So we've got some quite big names coming. But we've also got, lots and lots of other people coming from all over the country to perform. So
that's the Flabbergast Macbeth.
Oh gosh, yeah, of course.
Which
absolutely wonderful.
I would say that's the must see. I think last year people didn't get to see it, and they're coming again to perform this time, and it is just hadn't seen a piece of theatre that made me sort of smile and laugh and cry and feel frightened and moved all at the same time. Yeah. It was magic. So that's the must see from me.
And that's at the castle. So that's our, we have returned Macbeth Shakespeare to the castle over the past few years. It's still picking up audiences because people seem to still not quite noticed that we are doing Shakespeare in the castle. Last year we did it at Stokesay Court, which it was just that little bit far out of town and just at the end, you know, we were still in lockdown last year, so we did to outdoor audiences. But Flabbergast Theatre are terrific. They are the most, I'd say, for contemporary theatre, probably one of the the most exciting that you could actually go to see. And so we've got them from the 18th of June to the 25th at the Ludlow Castle.
I'm just looking at them now. They look amazing. Flabbergast Theatre look really cool.
Which is up with Macbeth. I think we might have something from last year from the magazine. Where are we? No brochure. But they were just really, really colourful, really lively, and I think everyone will love them.
What I love about stuff like this is we went to the folk festival last year, and you know, I'm not like a big folk. I'm not saying I'm not a big folk fan, but it's not something I've been exposed to an awful lot. So when I went to the folk festival, I found so many interesting, amazing acts and bands and things that I now follow today because of that. Like you've got, when it comes to things like this, you've got to be so open-minded and you can absorb all that in and learn so much. Not only that, you're giving like young artists, young theatre groups, things that, you know, we did an interview recently with KG Theatre, Kyle. You know, a lad just breezed into Shrewsbury within like 6 months of living here. He created his own theatre group and did a panto. You know, you need something to aim for, and that's why I love stuff like this. Speaking about COVID, obviously it's been tough over the last couple of years. Have you been able to regain your audience back quickly, or is it taking quite a bit of work to get everyone back out there?
It was amazing last year, considering we were still in lockdown. We actually worked with probably around about 13,000 people during that 4 weeks in audiences of because we put on so many outdoor events as well. We can actually sometimes take on have bigger audiences. But people were so supportive last year. It was wonderful. So let's hope that we have the same this year as well.
Yes.
You know, we distribute the brochure. Brochure goes out to, we have about 20,000 brochures, and they go far and wide around the area. Every door in Ludlow, they go through every door, and they'll also go to different postcode areas locally, but also, you know, the distribution in all the galleries, libraries, pubs, anywhere that, you know, art centres, that we can get them within about 50-mile radius, really. So we get from outside as well. It's not just Ludlow. So
how far do people come from then to the event?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'd say 65% of the last time we did a proper breakdown of where our audience came from, 65% were outside of SY8.
Wow.
So that shows how it does bring in a lot of business to the area. I can't quite remember what all the other statistics were, but when we first started, it was 65% of the tickets were within SY8, and now it's 65% outside of SY8, 30% from, you know, SY8. Then we've got, you know, the sort of 50-mile radius, and even international. We've actually had people come here. I think they might have just been in the country anyway. But
where have you come from? Come from Melbourne, mate.
We've had New Zealand, we've had Australian, we've had American, we've had African, we've had all sorts of people from all sorts of different countries. So that's been nice. We did do the one year, the 2020. We did a pretty much an online festival. We did do a few events outside. Well, only one really, with Fetch Theatre, but we did mostly online, and because we worked with the World Fringe Network, it was terrific actually. We had I think it was something like 27,000 hits, because we were working with other fringe festivals worldwide, It didn't make any money, so it's not like something that we were going to do, but it was just lovely to be able to support all those different artists from all around the world, and to have audiences from all around the world see that it was coming from Ludlow Fringe, which in the future, hopefully, it will bring in more international audiences as well when the world opens up again. So
I think that's one thing I kind of took from COVID, is that we found out how to do hybrid events, work with online things. We did an event in Much Wenlock a couple of years ago during COVID, and it was at the Cavalier Centre, and they had live music, and everybody had their own little box to sit in. So everybody was socially distanced, but they did a lot of the stuff online as well. And the Shrewsbury Biscuit, we sat there all day and we hosted the whole thing. So we're like, hey guys, welcome back, and here we're now going to see a video from this, and then we show a video, and people enjoy that online, and then you can tune in to all the events online as well. So we've kind of learned that a little bit. That's kind of the only sort of blessing we get from COVID, I guess.
We had to learn a lot very quickly.
yes. And that's kind of like where we kind of fit in, to show people how people are adapting and changing in the world. What is it like sort of collecting, curating, and putting the acts together? Did you have like a rush of people coming towards you? I want to be part of the Fringe. Did you lots of submissions? Or did you have to turn people away? How's that gone for you?
Yeah, I mean, we still are programming for this year. We've still got to house at least another 40 somewhere. Not everyone will make it through, not everybody. But most, we try our hardest to, we don't just we try hard to find them the right venue where they're going to get the right audience. And we want people to come here, if they come here, that they will make some profit from it as well. It's not just sort of like setting them up to fail. Give them a great venue and very few people there, depending on.
Off you go, poof, kick them out on stage. Yeah.
We really do. We research. We'll look at their links to what they've done before. We'll talk to them, and we work with them. And which is why performers like coming here as well. We've actually got a really good reputation amongst, touring performers because we look after them, and we also, we provide accommodation wherever and whenever we can. And that's free accommodation. So we'll billet people into people's houses. My house gets very, very busy during the festival.
I imagine.
Which is nice, but yeah. So yeah, that's it. That works well.
What's the build-up like for you personally to the festival? When the festival begins, is it absolutely manic in your house? Are the preparations you have to make personally? Like, what is it like for you? Because I imagine it's really hard, but at the same time, it's exciting at the same time because it's all happening.
Yeah, it's rather all involving. It is a 24/7 job. It's you're never off really. Off clock. And everywhere I walk in the region, because it's only a small town, I only have to walk into a pub and I end up into a conversation about the festival straight away, or actually even have to walk to my front gate to get that festival going. But also because we run it from my house. So we are looking for accommodation. We have at times had offices outside, but actually it works quite well from my home. So yeah, it does get busy.
Nice. What I love as well is, obviously, Jess, you have the title here is Education and Community Coordinator. So you're getting the local children involved in this?
Absolutely, yeah. We've got workshops over the Easter holidays. There's three days where kids can be involved in. We're calling it sort of Carnival Club this year because we want them to be making stuff and making music, getting ready for the carnival. And two of those workshops it's called the HAF scheme, which is Holidays and Food, which is a sort of government initiative. So we've got 2 days of creative workshops in the Easter Halls, which are free for kids who have free school meals. So not only will they get to come and make some stuff for the carnival, but we provide them with lunch. And then fingers crossed, they'll come back on Carnival Day and bring the big cool stuff they've made. And we then get, we're making sure we are including all of those families, not just the kids whose parents, might like to take them along to a workshop on a Saturday morning, but the kids who are, don't necessarily get that kind of opportunity. And we're taking a group of kids into the church for a piece of theatre as well. So yeah, the kids are. I mean, for Carnival Day, it's all about the kids, really. It's the grown-ups are just coming along for a laugh.
We're also looking, because we're working with Connexus as well this year. We've just managed to get some funding from Connexus, which is local housing association, and that's really nice. That really does mean that we can expand it that bit further into the community and also into age range as well. So we're going to try and get into some of the residential homes and try and include, older people as well.
That's lovely. I like that.
With disabilities, as much as we can. If it means going into the homes to do work, we will. And because the carnival is it's an eco carnival, so we've got no I'll let you to say about that. Have you
I don't think we have. No, I think so. The carnival's eco carnival, so we're not going to have any big trucks and tractors and trailers. It's going to be walking, pedaling, pushing a shopping trolley or wheelchairs or anybody and everybody.
Mobility scooters.
Mind you, did you see that video the other day of a mobility scooter pulling a caravan? It was in Wales. It was hilarious. It's just this video that went viral. It's just some guy in a mobility scooter pulling a caravan.
That's fantastic.
We need him.
We have actually got a mobility scooter that's going to pull, because another of the festivals here is the Soapbox Derby, which happens just after the Fringe. And that's going to be promoted during the Fringe by bringing the soapboxes along, but they're going to be pulled by somebody driving a mobility scooter. So.
That's awesome. You should get like your own version of like the Hells Angels, but like some small deers on mobility scooters. Ready to roll.
We've got Queen Victoria is going to be our Carnival Queen. We have a local wonderful Queen Victoria reenactor who's going to come and hopefully be at the front of the procession. Maybe we think we've got a pony and trap coming, so hopefully that she'll be riding on there.
And who's finishing it?
Oh, and Lady Godiva is finishing it. So we have a lovely young lady who has twice now ridden around Ludlow naked on horseback to raise money for a charity that supports people who've experienced suicide, family members who've committed suicide. So she's coming. She's going to be bringing up the rear. It's just going to be a spectacle without a shadow of a doubt. I think the last carnival in Ludlow happened in 2006, and I think it had sort of slowly lost a bit of its impetus. So it sort of came to a sort of bit of a sad end. But yeah, we're bringing it back, and it's going to be a banger.
Do you reckon we can come and bring some cameras and some microphones? Walk along and speak to people?
Definitely, that'd be great. Yes, please.
I mean,
what is the date of the carnival for the listeners at home and for me with my whiteboard?
June.
Sorry, say that again.
Saturday, the 18th of June.
18th of June. Right. Okay.
And we'll be sort of gathering people, assembling at the brewery, down by the train station. We haven't got an exact time just yet. We're waiting for confirmation from the council. But we'll be processing up Corve Street across the town and finishing in the square outside the castle for some fun.
Which is where our stage is as well. We have our own stage box office now, so there'll be performances from there as well throughout the day.
I just love what you guys are doing. I really do. But I mean, like the story you've told me today is like from the the rise of the phoenix. This thing that was kind of dying. You create something new, and you've brought new life into it. And now, like it seems like the whole town sort of welcomes it and brings and embraces it. I'm sure there are independent businesses, pubs, restaurants, cafes that really just can't wait for this thing to roll into town because it generates a bit of income from, and as well, the town is electric. So thank you so much for doing this for your community. It's really nice.
Thank you. That's really nice.
I love stuff like this.
Support from them as well. I mean, our Chamber of Trade and Commerce, Rotary Club, and lots of the businesses here support us as well. Whether that's through advertising in the brochure or through sponsorship. So I think that shows just how well it is appreciated as well. So it's almost like a, we all work together to make it good. So and that's nice.
Well, I'd love to offer the Biscuit support. We've got photographers, we've got a team behind us, and we got obviously we do have a mobile studio. But what I'd love to do is bring some cameras and some microphones, speak to people in the crowd, see how people are feeling on the day of the carnival. That'd be really nice. And maybe we can get to a couple of the events as well. That'd be really nice, because I feel like when it comes to community, these things are really, really important. Like we have discussed it throughout this episode, like how important it is to get people out there again and enjoying the arts and inspiring people, and creating new artists, new young artists that look up at the stage and get inspired by what they're seeing. This is all really important. So yeah.
I'd encourage you to look at our website and look at some of the testimonials as well from last year, from some of the performers that performed for us, with us. And also we had a really lovely promotional video, which is on our website. And should definitely have a good look at that, because it does give a good feel for
the atmosphere.
So it's ludlowfringe.co.uk. I'm on the website now. Of course I am. Where can people buy tickets? Can they buy them now, or is there a release date for the tickets?
I should think, at the moment we're looking at probably another 2 weeks before they go on sale.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you guys have social media so people can follow you for when notifications are released about ticket sales?
Yeah, everything's ludlowfringe.co.uk or at Ludlow Fringe or hashtag Ludlow Fringe. It's we're there. So encourage people to join our Facebook page or like our Facebook page, our Instagram, our Twitter. We have YouTube channel as well there. So that's got all of our previous promotional videos and examples of performers that have performed over the years, So it's all there.
Well, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for speaking to me today. Honestly, it's been really lovely.
And great, you, Alex. Thank you.
No, it's been really good. And if you do want us, we'll be there.
We'd love to be there. Yes, please. Yeah, that's a big yes.
Fantastic. What I want to do before we get out of here, guys, is there anything else you want to add? Is there any sort of thank yous or mentions before we get out of here, by the way, guys? Anybody you want to say hello to, or
just thanks to all the people that support us and help us, and all the volunteers, because it's good, it couldn't happen without them. That's the thing. It really couldn't happen without all the volunteers that we're anticipating will be there. No, they will be.
Rightly so. Also, as well, guys, make sure you check out our website too, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. That's made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. If you need a website, they will make the perfect website for you. Whether you're running a comedy festival fringe, whether you're running a podcast band, an Etsy, whatever it is, Web Orchard will make the perfect website for you. They're awesome. I saw Pete yesterday, who runs Web Orchard. He's a great guy. Also, as well, if you are watching this on YouTube, please give us a subscribe. There's lots of stuff going on our YouTube now. I like to record at least one of these virtual interviews a month so we can release them. But also, you can follow us on iTunes and Spotify, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow us from all sorts of places. Anita, Jess, thank you so much for joining me today. Stick around once the music's played. We'll have a chat afterwards. But we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you. Peace out.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks, Alex. Bye-bye.
I mean, there's a lot of people involved in this, a lot of them are volunteers, and they're all working their socks off to make it happen, so thank you very much.
I love playing in Ludlow. There's all sorts of people that have known me since I was like this high.
On behalf of Two Faced Dance, we would like to extend a huge thanks to Ludlow Fringe.
Thank you so much, Ludlow Fringe. This is like one of my absolute favourite gigs of the year. I've done it 4 or 5 times now, and yeah, thanks so much for continuing to do this. And yeah, we need these fringes all over the country for the arts.
Thank you, Ludlow. See you next year.
Thank you very much, Ludlow Fringe, for giving us the opportunity. Look forward to seeing you next year.